Guys, what's shaking, what's happening, what's moving, what's grooving? It's Friday, it's a brew day. I got my breakfast here, getting an early start. It's not that early, but I had to take kids to school and running late and all that stuff. So I had to pack up me eggs and bacon with me. So I woofed that into me. For those of you who don't know me, Big Rob, MakeBeerEasy.com. You can check me out there. Brief overview of who I am is I've been brewing for about 15, 16 years. Started out with kits, moved into the partial mashes, part grain, part liquid malt. Moved into all grain, a lot of BIAB stuff. Now I own a little brew pub, and I brew on 1 barrel systems, heading up to 2.5 barrel here shortly. So I've done kind of the whole gambit. Make Beer Easy is all about showing you how to make beer easy. I like to debunk a lot of the hype you see out there. Making beer is not that tricky once you know what you're doing, and that's what I do. So check it out. You can sign up for my weekly updates over at MakeBeerEasy.com. Today is a brew day. We are brewing again from the Bible. Bam! Home Brew Beer. I should say who it's from. I'm going to put a link to this on my site somewhere in case you guys want to pick it up. I'm going to do today, guys, the Amarillo. See if I can get you a good shot of that. That's a nice looking beer. Jeez, this is complicated. Getting you dizzy yet? I'm dizzy. There it is. Boop. Well, come this way. Amarillo Single Hop Ale. So this calls for pale malt, which I'm going to use 2-row. Carapils, dextrin, then it's all Amarillo. She's a single hop. We got start of the boil, last 15 minutes, last 5 minutes, and then that flame out when we turn the old heat off. So again, this will produce for you 6 gallons. I am going to use Brewer's Friend software I use to scale it on up to a 1 barrel batch, and we'll be back. I'm going to go. This is where I mill my grains in here, where we also ferment in the old Spidels 1 barrels. These are my systems. I have 2 of them, 2 1-barrel systems. They're 2 vessel systems each. Right now I'm filling her up, getting the water going. I'm using warm water so it won't take so long to heat up. I got my elements plugged in, and they're firing too. We got fire. So I'll be back, guys. Hang tight. See you soon. Yep. All right, so I'm sitting here on my laptop, got my coffee from the Luxor in Vegas down there this summer. Had a crazy good time. So I just imported the recipe from the Bible into Brewer's Friend. Always an adventure. And then I scale it up. So I'm going for a 35 gallon finished, just a little over a barrel. It's funny, like I'm looking at the recipe, and the recipe's saying that it should be, the bittering units would be 40 IBUs. When I put it into Brewer's Friend, if I followed the recipe exactly, it was something like 107 IBUs when it's scaled up. So I modified it a little bit. I've dropped it down to 80 IBUs, so it's going to be double the IBUs that the recipe's calling for. I don't think I believe that. I think it's just a programming deal, or maybe the I don't know if the Amarillo would be different. That doesn't really make sense to me. But the Brewer's Friend doesn't give me an option of picking different years of Amarillo or what have you. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm going to let it ride. I compared the amount of hops to what I've done in other recipes, so I'm happy with it. And this will make beer easy, man. We just make her and we see how she turns out. Don't mind my mess over here. That was brekkie. So that's it. I'm going to head in. I've got to mill 59 pounds, baby, pounds of American 2-row, 3 pounds of dextrin, and then hopefully we'll be ready to mash in here soon. Be back. I'll show you as I'm milling away. This is how you mill, boys and girls. Got a little motor connected here. You've seen some other videos. You've seen that operating. Fill up the old hopper, let her go. Allows me to weigh out the grains. Plus mill at the same time. Cuts down a little bit of time, which is nice. Full bag is 55 pounds of grain, and that means I need an extra 4 pounds of the 2-row. I think it was 2 or 3 pounds of the Carapils. So we're milling away. Water's getting up to the dough in strike temperature, and we'll be back to, actually I'll do the water chemistry here soon. So I'll come back and show you the water chemistry, a little bit of that. See you soon. And that, boys and girls, is what, let me tell you, 59, 60, 62 pounds of milled up grains looks like. heading over to do the water chemistry now. Alright guys, water's at 160. I'm going to go up to 180 before I transfer it over to the mash tun. Just did the water chemistry. I'm going to use a light colored hoppy profile because the IBUs are so high in this. I'm going to do that versus the balance that I typically would use. So I worked it out. With my water, I needed 40 grams of gypsum and 2 grams of calcium chloride. So that's what that would look like. We're heading over here. I just put her in there now. Start out with 46 gallons of water in the kettle. I just put her in there, give it a little swirl. Get my mash paddle out and stir it all up. Make sure it gets all stirred up. Get that water where she should be. And hopefully we'll be back real soon. Dropping shit. We'll be back real soon to dough in. See you soon. What's up, guys? We're all doughed in. I went 180 for the in the hot liquor tank. When I transfer over, I lose a few degrees. I then set my temperature. I want to have it about 150, my mash temp. So I find it's about 12 degrees differential between the transfer between the two. So I try to keep the temp over here at about 162 for today's brew. Right now it's saying I'm at 160. Once I stir it up, that'll drop fast. That's okay. Make beer easy. I don't sweat it too much, guys. I haven't found a big difference between 150 and 160 for mash temp. But again, that'll drop once I start stirring. Gonna do my pH. I'm sure I'm way over. I like to have it about 5.1 to 5.3 for mash temp. Put some lactic acid in there. So I'm at about 6.3. I'll probably put, I just use 2 capfuls. I used to measure it out in mils, but I just use 2 capfuls of this. We'll probably bring that down to about 5.2, 5.1, somewhere in there. So that's what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to start recirculating between, getting the mash going. Basically what I do is I just switch these 2 lines up. I got 2 of the Blickman pumps on the go here. I switch these lines so it cross circulates between the 2 kettles. While I'm mashing, do that for an hour. Bob's your uncle. Transfer back over to the hot liquor tank, which then becomes the boil kettle. Gonna boil for an hour, which I'll be back when I do that. When I'm doughing in, a couple key things for those of you just getting going. You want to put a little bit of grains at a time, stir it up real good with your mash paddle, make sure you're not getting any dough balls. And then during the mash, I'll probably give it a stir 5-6 times during the mash, just to keep the grains nice and loose. Get as much of that goodness out of the grains as we can. That's what I got, guys. Be back soon. Oh, geez. So we're transferring. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's looking in freezers. We're transferring all the hop additions, everything done. Chilled the wort here all the way through. We got her down to 184 up here, but that's because it's actually recirculating through the kettle. So once it gets up into the fermenter, we are probably at about 65, low 60s. And that's it. I've got my yeast all set, ready to go. Going to dump her in. That was 130 grams of 05 I'm using. That's it, guys. I'm going to put a blow-off hose on that, and that's something I didn't do, son of a gun. I think I left my bubbler airlock sitting in the fermenter, so that's wonderful. We'll probably be leaving that in there for the fermentation. And then we're going to, that's always fun. And then we're going to put an airlock on, or not an airlock, put a blow-off too, because she's going to be filled right to the max, so she'll be bubbling good. There he is. Say something, I know you want to be famous. No, don't say anything. Hey, we're good. So that's it. Decent brew day. Check me out, makebeereasy.com. Sign up for newsletter, and you get all my updates, all that good stuff. Chat at you later.